Thank you so much, and I'm definitely looking forward to that album when it comes out. I hope you'll get us a copy of it, and we'll definitely play it. Tell us what you've got coming up in the future. I know you've got this album you're working on. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, so we did the first half. A couple of years ago, we had a crowdfunding campaign, and it was successful, and it was a lot of work, and we raised the money to do the first half of the album. And I worked with a couple of friends of mine, producers, very talented musicians, and who I had worked with before. And halfway through the album, I now have switched, and I'm including another producer, this lady, Lenice Bent, who is I met when I presented a couple workshops at the Independent Music Conference in LA over a couple of years. And Lenice has worked with she's wonderful in the studio as well, and she's worked with, in different capacities, but with Steely Dan and with Debbie Harry and with Bonnie Raitt and with Supertramp. And so anyway, I went for the tracks for which I am recording the vocals early November, the final tracks. I went to Los Angeles to work with Lenice, and we worked with amazing musicians. The criteria was that we wanted them to be nice and talented, and they were both in droves. We recorded like 20 instruments. 4 musicians recorded 20 instruments, and we were really lucky to record in a studio that's called Evergreen Stage. And Lenice told me, she said, I'd always wanted to work with her. From when we met on the same panel at the conference, we really hit it off. And she said to me, she goes, there's a studio. They really want me to work there. It's a nice studio. And a couple of days before, I said, well, can you give me a link to the studio? I trust it. I said, if you like it, I'm sure it's fine. And I found out it was such an amazing studio. It was actually, it used to be the Magnolia Theater in Los Angeles, and Barbra Streisand bought it and turned it into the Evergreen Stage, named after a song of hers, which I'm sorry I was unaware of. But it was a studio made, it's a sound stage studio, so you could fit an orchestra of 40 in there. Except there was really just 5 of us, and I walked in there and I was like, oh my God. I mean, at the end of the day, you're almost sore from walking the distance between the control room and.
I can imagine, and she has got. You alluded to her credits. She has got an amazing list of credits. I mean, she's worked with. She's worked with Steely Dan, The Knack, Blondie, Shandy. I mean, Michael DeVars. She's just worked with a bunch of very talented and successful people, which says a lot for her. And I'm really looking forward to hearing your collaboration. That's something definitely to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm super excited about the tracks. I mean, they're just every track on the album, and there's to see her work in the studio was really inspiring too. She's really amazing with miking things, and she knows her stuff. And we had a great time, and we worked with some just really sweet people. Here's something that was funny. So I grew up in France in this town above this little town of Albertville, where the '92 Winter Olympics were. And the guitarist she found for my project, he grew up 10 miles away from me in France, and his mom was born in my hometown of Albertville. And I said to her, how did you in L.A. come up with the one guitarist who grew up next to me?
Really? Half a world away to meet.
Yeah, I mean, God knows there's a lot of guitarists in L.A. He was wonderful, but I was like, how did you come up with this guy? His mom was born in my hometown. This is so weird. Anyway, so I'm very excited about the tracks. Most of them are in English. I'm doing a couple covers of some very kind of 60s. I love 60s French pop, and there's a cover of a France Gall song and a very jazzy thing. And then there's another, I don't know who on the air right now, if you're familiar with Jacques Brel, who was a iconic.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, Jacques Brel, one, very prolific, beautiful lyricist, and we took one of his.
We heard that he was still alive and well in Paris.
Well, in the like Elvis is alive somewhere, yeah. In the hearts of many, but I took this song that he wrote for Petula Clark that was called A Child, and it's, Petula Clark sang it, it's her and piano, and it's beautiful. And actually the French guitarist, he said, my wife was like, what is she going to do with this song? And we turned it into this very Al Greenish kind of thing. So I'm very, very excited about
and I'm familiar with the song, and that's not an easy feat to accomplish doing something like that. Yep. And I think it goes a lot towards your talent. We don't have that much time left, Clara, but just very quickly, I wanted to find out from you, who is your muse? Who is your personal hero in the music world?
Well, for years, and my first and probably biggest one, I listened to a lot of stuff, was David Bowie. David Bowie was, I say almost unabashedly that when I was 12 years old, I thought he should really meet me. But anyway.
Well, that would have definitely been worthwhile, definitely.
Well, we almost did, because my brother worked with him. But anyway, no, I just thought he was so creative and constantly evolving and really inspirational in terms of words and sounds. And so, and then I listened to a lot of different stuff.
Well, he was influential in so many people's music that, it's impossible just, in the short time that we have in this 60 minutes that we do every week, it's virtually impossible to list all the credits that David Bowie has. And you're absolutely right. Spot on.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk. A lot of people have talked about just what an influence David Bowie was on their music, their career. And before we let you go, Clara, we want to thank you so much for coming and joining us. But tell us a little bit about this next song, because this is a little change of pace called "Game Up, Bigger Pickle." Tell us a little about that.
So "Game Up, Bigger Pickle." It's about getting yourself in situations that you need to get out of before they get worse.
I think we're all aware of that situation. Again, Clara,
we
so
can all
beautiful
relate
having
to
you
that.
here with us today. Thank you so much for spending time and sharing your music. And we thank the powers that be that gave us that sneak preview we snuck in there a little while ago. Clara, we look forward to you being a member of our family now. Please keep in touch with us. You can post on my Facebook. I have a couple of pages you can post on for your play dates, new music, whatever. Just search The David Bowers and feel free. That's what they're there for. And remember, you're part of the family now. So if you ever want to come back on the show, all you got to do is give us a holler. Please keep in touch with us if you would.
I will be happy to.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me here today. Great to meet you, and I look forward to more. You guys take good care, and look forward to next time. Thank you so much.
You too, and thank you,
thank
ladies
you so
and
much for being with us.
Clara
My pleasure.
Bellino, and this is called Game Up, Bigger Pickle.
Banana peel. You can call me brave.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, Clara Bellino. And we always run out of time with these guests. Sometimes I think we should do a 2-hour show. But anyway, I wanted to be sure and remind you folks, you can Google her online, and her website is clarabellino.com, Bellino, obviously. And thank you, Clara Bellino. Thank you also to Chickenbone and the Biscuits. And we'll look for all of you out there next week. Take us home, John Bon Jovial.
Yes, sir. Also want to be sure to thank Sarantos, too, for contributing his new song, Gypsy Jazz, to us today. A very nice, little unexpected melody from him. I kind of like that. I think it'll do something. Hey, folks, don't forget, the David Bowers Awards is broadcast around the world through the facilities of the studios of Computer Help USA in Naples, Florida, and also from our studios in the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix, Arizona. We are available for free download on Blog Talk Radio and also on iTunes, iHeartRadio, YouTube, 365 Internet Radio, Mixcloud, Tumblr, Spreaker, and Avanci. I'm sure there's a few other names out there as well. Click the follow link on our Blog Talk Radio page, and be sure to like the David Bowers on Facebook, and also follow us on Twitter and Facebook to be the first to hear about upcoming shows. Be sure to join us next week for the David Bowers Awards Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern on WRFZ-FM 106.3 in Rochester, New York. That's Rochester Free Radio. And Blog Talk Radio, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 6 p.m. Greenwich time for more great indie music and talk with the artists and make it happen. So until next week, for the David Bowers, Nick the Geek, Hopalong Sarcarcity, and all the other idiots that work here, my name is John Bon Jovial. I am so glad that you have joined us today, and we will see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.